Today we'll have the latest on the fall's biggest shooters and go hands-on with All Zombies Must Die.
Plus, gadget reviews for you tech junkies and a real cop talks LA Noire. X-Play starts right now.
Hello and welcome to X-Play, the show that puts the deep in deep cable. I'm Adam Sessler.
And I am Morgan Webb. Our dream is to be a 2-digit network.
And to have a Clydesdale. Coming up on today's show, we'll lead clueless villagers to their deaths in our review of the God game from Dusk. Then we'll test a racing wheel and 2 new fight sticks from Horiz. You're welcome, tech junkies.
Plus, I'll go hands-on with All Zombies Must Die. The title does a very good job of advertising what's in store. And later, Casey Schreiner makes journalism his bitch in this week's installment of the MMO Report.
But first, it's time for our national pastime.
Not baseball. Nobody cares about that anymore. We are talking about first-person shooters. They're as American as deep-fried butter on a stick.
Yeah. And this fall, some huge titles are hitting stores. You get to shoot alien soldiers and people. These are the big ones.
The game is easy. Kill or be killed.
I hope you spent your summer field stripping your assault rifle naked and blindfolded like I did, because you're gonna need those skills. A murder of incredible first-person shooters are coming out this fall, and here are the big ones.
I need you to find our Marines.
Battlefield 3. From the first dust-strewn images, Battlefield 3 knocked our jaws in the dirt. The game looks gorgeous and unnervingly real. A proper Battlefield sequel has been in the rear with the gear since 2006's Battlefield 2142, and now it's come roaring back to life. The massive vehicular maneuvers are back with aerial combat and heavy armor.
For now, you're the only element I've got to send.
Multiplayer is looking like a must-play revamp of Battlefield's classic online experience. Just make sure your router is up to speed or risk this. Halo Combat Evolved launched a multi-billion-dollar franchise and secured the future virginity of millions of rabid fans. So it's no wonder we're excited for Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary. If you're a programming nerd, you'll appreciate that Combat Evolved Anniversary is actually running both the original Halo code and a beautifully updated graphics engine. It looks pretty and plays exactly how you remember it. We're sold.
You don't know how lucky you are that the Authority hasn't found you yet.
The only thing I love more than an irradiated desert mutant is a dead irradiated desert mutant. Rage drops you smack dab into the middle of hell on Earth. Become part of the resistance force trying to free the surviving Earth folk from the Authority. With guns, lots of guns, and throwing blades, and more guns. Infuse some Road Warrior climatic car chase and its signature eye-popping visuals. Yep, you need it. Shut up, you need it. What do aliens have against Earth? Who knows? Who cares? Resistance 3 tells you to strap it on and get it done. 1950s America isn't going to liberate itself. The long road from Oklahoma to New York is fraught with all kinds of bloodthirsty chimera who want to use your skull as a bedpan. The weapon wheel is back, as are old favorites like the Magnum and the Bullseye, plus a few new surprises. And that about wraps it up for all the shooters this fall.
Be advised, heavily armored ground forces are being deployed by the enemy.
What was that? I'm forgetting one? Oh, right. Only one of the biggest franchises of all time. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, where the war comes home in every way possible. Germany, England, France, America. World War III starts in November, and we've all got front row seats. The campaign looks stunning, and that's just the opening fusillade. Spec Ops now has a survival mode, and Call of Duty has all but turned multiplayer into a religion. Why waste time with words when a good old heavy metal montage will suffice? This fall, you better be storming a heavily fortified stronghold or killing something from another planet. It's a first-person shooter's world, and these are the big ones. First-person shooters are, of course, the biggest genre of this generation,
Yes.
but this year may have the highest concentration of, quality-looking shooters in memory.
Yeah, no, we've of course talked a lot about Call of
Yes.
Duty and a lot about Battlefield,
Yes.
so we should maybe focus a little bit on some of the other shooters
Something
that
that
are coming out.
isn't war, or at least war with people.
It's all about war, really. You can't tell me in Resistance 3.
Yeah.
I guess it's about humanity's fight for survival.
Exactly. It's something a little bit deeper, a little bit richer. You know, the part that I think is so cool about this is that it's taking a cue from the Ratchet game. So the more you use a weapon, it then upgrades, and it's a wonderful way to experiment in a game.
So addictive.
Yeah.
Because you're sitting there being like, if I just use this gun, like, you know, this many more times, then I'm actually going to upgrade the weapon.
And then you get to see what it does.
I hope it makes a sparkle effect like it does in Ratchet, but it probably won't.
All right, now the other shooter that has not gotten as much discussion is, of course, Id's Rage, which is beautiful. Beautiful. And you got to play it.
I did get to play it.
What'd you think?
The thing that was really amazing about it was the controls were fantastic. And they were saying that was because it's actually, you know, it's running at a full 60 hertz and you really feel the immediacy of every action.
And also, I remember in an interview, I was told that Carmack, that was the first thing that he wanted to focus on was the controls. They haven't done console shooters before, and they knew that was kind of an unknown territory for them.
And Carmack was actually saying that this is the game from id that he's sort of most looking forward to and he's most excited about. And after the interview that we did, he actually went down to the floor to watch people play Rage.
See, he's very involved. And
I'm sure some people are just sitting there playing, minding their own business, and then they turn around and like Carmack's like staring at them.
Hey, I could live with that. It would be bad. All right, with that, let's send it over to Blair.
And I could live with Adam standing over my back anytime he wants. Oh, no, Adam does not want that. Okay. In designing L.A. Noire, Rockstar spent a ridiculous amount of time and money recreating 1940s Los Angeles. They went back to the old maps, photographs, any evidence of the past they could find. But were they able to deliver the same level of authenticity in the gameplay? Well, we asked a veteran LAPD detective for his take.
This is your chance. Don't fail me.
Los Angeles. So many questions in this fair city.
We want some answers, and we want them quick.
Who can answer them? One man, one detective.
LAPD, could we have a word?
Hi, I'm Skip Bachman, and for 32 years I was a member of the Los Angeles Police Department, and for most of that time I was a detective.
Hands up!
The last time I was here, we were taking a look at L.A. Noire. You got to see me playing it for the first time, and now I'm back to answer some of your questions.
Let's see where this takes us.
Let's start with the myth of fingerprints.
You should take a look at the body.
I can't really speak to what they did back in the 40s, but fingerprints are critical, and if you pick up an item and you don't have any gloves on it, you leave prints on it. If somebody else handles it, they leave prints on it. And what the chain of custody of how the evidence is handled is very important. And in the game, they don't get into court, obviously, because they don't have time. I don't know how interesting it would be, but the way evidence is handled is critical because of the next step, which is prosecution.
We were right there and they tried to stare us down. Now they'll both get the gas chamber.
So, can an officer just fire his gun into the air like a rapper circa 1992?
Now, another thing that came up was the warning shots, and that's kind of an L.A. Noire thing.
Stop or I will shoot!
When you pull your gun and shoot as a Los Angeles police officer, you have to justify every round for the circumstance that you're in. So, and generally, we just don't believe in warning shots.
But it wasn't my fault.
What was the most egregious thing you saw in L.A. Noire?
There were some things in there that just really made me cringe.
Destruction of public property, harassment.
And one big one was at one of the murder scenes where there's one group of officers there and a second unit pulls up. And he tells the guy, okay, you do this, you will be first reporting. And they look up and they tell everybody there, okay, there's nothing else to see here, move on.
Run along, boys, and let these officers get to work.
And I'm going, no. Get everybody's name that's there, get their information and interview them. Because if this guy just got shot and all these people were there, these are your witnesses.
Why did you do it, Mr. Kalu?
And finally, the most important question.
What have we got?
This thing about gold film reels and supercars stashed in garages around LA. Grow up. No.
We're done for now.
Case closed.
That's it. We're done here.
All right, coming up on X-Play, we'll test out some fight sticks and a racing wheel that could save you some major cash. Plus, we've got a review of From Dusk, a hands-on demo of All Zombies Must Die, and all the latest headlines in this week's edition of the MMO Report. We'll be right back.
Ready for this?
This portion of X-Play is brought to you by Verizon, America's largest and most reliable wireless network.
Be sure to tune in to X-Play on Thursdays and Fridays at 6:30 because your favorite hosts, Adam and Morgan, will be live tweeting during the show. And sometimes we give stuff away that we don't want from our homes.
Welcome back. Buying a fighting stick or a racing wheel is a major commitment. It's almost as big as buying a horse.
It's a Clydesdale that Adam wanted.
I know.
We'll get him one day. It's a serious thing.
Yeah.
It's a good thing that we're here to guide you tech junkies. Okay, Morgan Webb.
Yes.
Co-host of X-Play.
That's me.
We've got some great products here from Horiz. Horiz is how they say it.
They've actually been making gaming products for about 25 years now, and we have a chance to try out their fighting stick, the VX and the V3.
VX, V3, PS3 version, Xbox 360 version. Morgan, how were they?
Okay, so here's the thing about these sticks. For a price that's actually much less than the deluxe models that are out there, they're actually pretty good.
Yep.
The controls are very responsive. You know, the buttons definitely have a high quality feel to them. Overall, they are both definitely quite sturdy.
Yeah, now, again, we have like one of the preeminent fighting game stick reviewers, and Matt Kyle on our show, and he did say, you know, these are $100 in some cases, less than a lot of the fighting sticks, and they're comparable. However, the square gauge sticks themselves, they're really on par with a lot of the really expensive models that are out there right now, like we said before. And it also has turbo functionality, which is super important if you don't want to do this.
For all 6 buttons, it has turbo functionality.
Which is really important, especially for, you know, bullet shooters and arcade shoot-em-ups and things of that nature. However, I don't really want to touch it because it's so hard to prop these things up, and so if you're looking to buy something you can prop up on your table, don't buy these. But it's pretty light, and it feels, I don't know, it's sturdy, but it almost feels like a little too light for some intense playthroughs.
Right, and so you're gonna have to put it actually on a table or something like that for more stability. It also doesn't feature a button lock, the button lockout feature, so you might accidentally hit the Xbox and pause buttons, which we know in tournament play is a disqualification,
and so
it drives people crazy.
Yeah, they hate it. So don't bring these to a tournament, but honestly, if you're entering something like EVO, chances are you spend a little bit more money on your thing anyway. Speaking of price, though, how much do these things cost?
They're actually very reasonably priced. The V3 for the PS3 is going to cost you $59.99, and the VX for the 360 is going to cost you $69.99. They are actually essentially the same stick. The Xbox version has the headset port. So
right, so we can only assume that's why it's $10 more. Okay, and for all you racing enthusiasts out there, we have Horiz Racing Wheel 3 for you guys, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, actually, for a very affordable $59.99, you actually get a pretty decent set of features.
Yeah, you can program, this is pretty interesting, you can program both the pedals and the paddles to emulate absolutely any button in the games that's compatible with, which is pretty neat.
Yeah, the steering wheel with rumble feature, that's pretty good. I like that.
And also a nice little feature is a controller number indicator on the column.
Right.
You know, it doesn't really do much, but things that light up are awesome. So there's that. But it does have 2 drawbacks. First of all, the lap belt feels pretty flimsy, though. Spoiler alert, you're not in a real car, so don't worry about it because you're not going to be in a real accident. So that's not that big of a deal.
It also is not going to recognize some games like Need for Speed Shift, for example.
Which is a big game.
Which is a game that people like. Okay, but overall, both do a decent job for the price. So, you know.
Buy it, you rich bastards.
Let's send it over to Adam.
Thanks, guys. And the lap belt is important. That way you can wear your steering wheel as a cod piece. From Dusk might make you nostalgic for old Peter Molyneux God games like Populous. You manipulate the environment and try to help groups of mindless, dopey villagers survive. Not that they'll appreciate it. Here's our review. From Dusk is a modern god game strategy experience where mastering nature is the only way to survive. To put it mildly, the nomadic tribes will look to you as the savior of their people. With stunning elemental and environmental effects, the game's realistic natural disaster makes this a compelling nature simulation. Plus, experimenting with different approaches to stop your land from ruins will add value and excitement to the replayability of the physics-based gameplay. The primary campaign unfolds over a series of maps designed to take advantage of a number of different elemental factors, but each plays out according to the same overall structure. Find totems, build villages, and protect them long enough to open a portal to the next map. But what truly makes From Dusk's world molding special are its liquid physics. Your goal, redirect the lava flows and powerful rivers by building dams of rock or sand. The game's villager AI is not the brightest at times. There are plenty of occasions when the AI will map out a path that is unnecessarily perilous for your travelers, forcing you to rework carefully thought out plans to accommodate their blunders. It is hard to fully appreciate From Dusk's achievements without actually playing it yourself. There are some noticeable AI and control issues for sure, but the environmental-based design and dynamic presentation offer something so refreshing that, if you're open to it, you can't help but be swept up by it. From Dusk gets 4 natural disasters out of 5.
After the break, I'm gonna go hands-on with All Zombies Must Die. That is an agenda I think we can all get behind. Plus, misanthropic newsman Casey Schreiner delivers all the latest headlines in the MMO Report. We'll be right back.
The creators of the downloadable game Burn Zombie Burn are back with a different spin on undead mayhem, and this one takes a step back from the pyromania. All Zombies Must Die puts an emphasis on good old-fashioned shooting with an apostrophe, and Morgan's got a hands-on demo.
All Zombies Must Die has a simple premise we can all get behind. Slaughter the undead. Stock up on blunt objects, shotguns, and enough ammo to get the job done. You'll need to keep your head on a swivel, otherwise you'll be a zombie buffet. I am here with Dave Dower. So you say it in your accent.
Dow, please.
Oh, it's fantastic. And you're the lead designer on a game called All Zombies
Must Die.
What kind of game are we going to be looking at?
This is skill-based. It's what we're calling an arcade RPG, right? The moment-to-moment gameplay is a twin-stick skill-based shooter, right? And it's nestled inside a whole RPG system, basically.
And what kind of weapons can you pick up?
The actual weapons you pick up, well, in this level, you've got like, I don't know, assault rifles, katana, ray gun. There's a whole bunch of stuff, man, and there's a whole crafting system so that you can upgrade the weapons and so on and so forth. And like I say, the status effect stuff, right? You've got like 3 other status effects in the game, right? You've got fire, which like obviously sets the zombies on fire, and you can combine these status effects, right? So you combine them so that like fire plus shock in a certain order will cause them to shrink, but if you do it in the wrong order, they will grow.
Let's talk about the RPG elements.
In this, we've got like this entire town of Deadhill, right? And the idea is that each of the maps go together to make up this whole town, right? And so you're going from map to map, exploring the town. In some maps, you can take an All Zombies Must Die quest, and when you do that, if you successfully do that, you will make that area your base, right? Once the area is your base, you then get access to screens which let you level up the characters if you've managed to get enough XP to level up. You'll be able to then access the crafting system and craft weapons and so on and so forth.
Do you have sort of checkpoints in this kind of level? Like, are they levels that you go through linearly, or do you have quest objectives?
Right, okay, so the game, right, I mean, everything about the game is very, very dynamic, right? Like I say, like all this status effect stuff, the way the player chooses to use that. When you make a level your base, you can enter that freely, right? And there are multiple places in the game you can make a base. You've got the police station, but then you've got the TV station. And the choice of which level you make your base has got quite a lot of significance because you have a lot of control over the maps that you might want to farm for loot drops and so on and so forth.
When does the game come out?
Fall. Yeah, on Xbox 360, on PS3 and on Steam.
For download?
Yeah, for download.
Perfect, thank you very much. We're going to send it over to Adam.
Thank you, Morgan. I'm a busy man with debtors to dodge and neighbors to fight with. I don't have time to scour the web looking for all the latest online news. Good thing we have Casey Schreiner and the MMO Report.
Thanks, Adam. According to a blog post ENunn posted last week, there are some major changes to the latest build of Guild Wars 2. First off, skills will no longer cost energy. Instead, dodging will deplete your energy bar, which regenerates over time, adding a tactical element to combat. Skills have also gotten an overhaul. Now, instead of upgrading your weapon skills through a trainer in a hub town, you'll gain weapon skills by simply using that weapon. Making us watch our defensive tactics and saving us a trip to town to level? We're liking you more and more, Guild Wars. Funcom announced that they will release their newest MMO, The Secret World, in April of 2012. Of course, there will be a beta before launch, and gamers can start signing up on August 26th. The opt-in process will be done through an interactive social media campaign, meaning you'll have to do some clicking to get one of those oh-so-coveted beta keys. No word yet on exactly how this beta ARG will play out, but I'm sure Funcom will release the details in a very clear and in no way confusing manner. Hooray viral marketing. For even more news about the world of MMOs and a brand new full episode of the MMO Report every Thursday afternoon, check out g4tv.com/MMO. Because we've got to catch a plane to the Emerald City, let's check out what's coming up on X-Play.
Next week, we'll review Deus Ex Human Revolution. Plus, we'll have the latest from Gamescom, including new Battlefield 3 gameplay and your first look at Valve's Dota 2.
Plus, Chris and Adams has a cheat for L.A. Noire.
We actually killed a lot of zombies in today's show.
You know, I'm really looking forward to playing the prequel, Some Zombies Must Die, and the expansion pack, Those Zombies Must Die. I think it really rounds out the package.
Absolutely, but you know, in this latest installment, they really wanted to go over the top, so they had to say that all zombies must die.
Well, no, and you know, it's at some point you really just have to kind of just get rid of all of them.
You have to. There's a line, and you just.
It's very important.
You have to take a stand.
And next week we're going to Germany.
Thanks for watching.